What's the name of the show? Are we going with Dil's Roundtable?
What's this? Oh,
Welcome to Dil's Roundtable. I'm Dilruk Jayasinha, and I'm a comedian by trade, but comedy is my passion and obsession as well. And this episode, I'd like to talk about staying fit while doing comedy. My panel of experts include Karl Chandler, who is a good runner, loves a bit of running.
82 kilos, 82.3 this morning.
8.2 kilos this morning. You ran.
No, 82 kilos is not a measurement of distance.
Kilometers?
82
kilometers?
82.3 kilograms this morning.
Right. So we have Karl Chandler, loves a bit of running. We have Dave Thornton, probably the only comic I know who has a six-pack. And we have Ben Lomas.
Who likes to drink a six-pack.
Yes!
There we go.
He's on.
Tommy Little's furious.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Obviously, I picked the panel very carefully for this one. This is probably the most... and I told this to Ben last night when I told you the topic. You literally said to me, why are you doing this? Why are you going to put us through this? You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware who I put you right across.
Hey, are you accusing me of being a fat shamer? You
no,
fat fuck.
Just to be honest, the day before he was 88 kilograms, but he lost 6 in excitement. Just knowing the show was
Nervous
coming.
anticipation. I sweated a lot out of my sleep, just going, oh, I can say so many things.
Okay, so let's go around. How much are you weighing at the moment?
I think about 84, 85.
84, 85. I got on the scales. I clocked 117.2.
Oh, that's nice. You've lost a bit.
I've lost, believe it or not.
Oh, hang on. That was joking.
I've lost a total of 14.2 kilograms.
Wow.
14. So
Since January 1.
So what's
wow. What have you been doing?
That's less us being, wow, well done. It's more us going, how the fuck did you make it that
I know.
far to start with?
But this is the weird thing about it. It's like people go, hey, you lost weight, blah, blah, blah. And the weird thing about it is people go, oh, have you changed your lifestyle? I was like, no, I'm just having a lot of dental work and I can't eat anything.
Oh, so
you stopped it at the first gate?
Yeah, stopped here. People go, you get lectin banding? I was like, nah, nothing can fit in here anymore.
Jesus.
Your mouth's like Nauru.
Yeah.
It's just like people have been...
People are just like, just ripping it out and go, yo, you're not going to have that tooth. Now drink everything out of a straw.
What's going on with your teeth?
No, because I've been eating bad food for a very long time, I've had to have two, 3 teeth moved.
So does your kilo, your teeth weigh
1 kilo?
Yeah.
So if anyone coming to see your show, if they were thinking like the ticket prices they were paying by the pound, they're really disappointed. It's down to 114.
But it sucks though. The thing about it is I've lost this weight, but none of my fat jokes are working on stage anymore.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, because all the audience are going, who's saying that? We can't even see anyone up on stage.
Oh, what's with Kate Moss here?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He turned sideways and we lost it.
People can't see you behind the mic stand, no, because Victoria Beckham is blocking you.
You're less twiggy and more trunky, to be honest, mate. Like,
wait, are you being legit when you said that your fat jokes aren't working anymore?
It's totally. Like I haven't. But I've had.
you know why? Because none of your jokes got punchlines.
No, that's not what we're doing.
That's not it. I thought we were doing fat shaming.
So, how did you lose? Like, this is the thing. Okay.
Yeah, go far away.
Okay. So you did a TV show a couple of years ago, Open Slather, and you were in good trim.
Which was also your attitude to the buffet table.
How obvious!
Hey, for laughs.
Hey, that's the crew.
That's why he stacked up on all that merch. I just feel it works well across my chest.
With the lunchbox.
Actually, I thought that was a tram with an ad for Open Slather. That was you walking past with it on your t-shirt.
Guys, hey Foxtel, I've got a new show. It's called All You Can Eat. Now here's the pitch.
Yeah, so I did.
So you were in good nick.
I was in good nick.
Right, and then catering happened.
Yeah, then catering happened.
So catering on the show is what? You get lunch and breakfast?
Lunch, dinner, and 2 breakfasts. That was just me.
Yeah.
But it was that thing where it's, you just got fed the whole time. And because it was the first time I was on television, I was very nervous. And so being, you probably know this as well, Dylan, when you get, when I get nervous, I eat a lot. Also when I get upset and when I'm happy. Yeah, but I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to get involved. It's so easy. easy. Anyway, so
Too bad it's not so light and easy. But anyway.
So then there was this bit where it was like I started off strong, and then throughout the 18 months I stacked on 19 kilos.
Oh,
19 kilos. And
I remember working with you on another show, and you were explaining to me, it was at the end of your run, and you were saying, yeah, it's just all the catering's fault. And as you were saying it, you were doing warm-up on another show, and he's saying, yeah, it's all that show's fault, it's all their catering. As he's doing that, he's eating all the lollies that he's supposed to be giving to the audience as a warm-up man. And he's going, it's 11:30 at night. He's like, yeah, I don't know how I'm packing it all.
another bounty? Can I have the chocolate? Shut up.
Yeah. Dave, you've been in comedy, I think, the longest out of here. What, 10, 12 years now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
12 years.
And you've always been in good nick?
I just always, you've got so much time in comedy. So I was like, oh, well, to stop myself from going crazy, I'd go for a run or go to the gym or do something.
During the day, before gigs and stuff like that.
See, keeping healthy, not as funny.
But I'm genuinely interested. So do you have a plan, like for the day you go, okay.
But you'd be a naturally slender guy, I think.
Yeah, this is my playing weight. Like, it's not like I'm, like a solid dude.
Would it take you a lot of effort to get fat? Like, you've got, your metabolism. Like,
no, because I did that thing, like I hit 30 and went, oh yeah, this is an issue. Like, as in if I don't keep an eye on it. And I'm just bound to be a guy with a paunch, but everything else is rakish.
Just
a little one just sitting there.
When we were drinking with you, you can put away a few beers quite comfortably.
Please.
But then I'd see maybe the next day you've gone for some fucking boxing class or some shit or whatever. And I'm like, how did you back that up?
Oh, no, yeah, when I was younger, Now, no. It's ground me down to a halt. Like, being a dad now, it grinds you down to a halt. You're
both young dads. You have 2 kids. You have one, not even 1 year yet, is it?
No, she's 5 months old.
5 months, yeah.
Same day. We had a child on the same day.
Oh, yeah.
She was talking yet?
But it's harder because now with kids you actually even have less time. So like if you're a comedian, you look after your kids all day, and then at night you gig. So the really only time you have to exercise is either before they wake up, which is like 5 o'clock in the morning, or really late at night.
But you also ride to gigs. You're trying to incorporate some sort of exercise.
Yeah, totally. So
whereas I've found Uber. And
but do you know that is the only reason I don't get Uber?
Since I got Uber, though, my hydration's been great. I've been knocking back the waters.
But that's the reason why I'm not getting Uber, because taxis are too expensive. So now I just try to ride to every gig.
Yeah.
So that's what.
But Karl, you're slightly different. I feel like you became healthier midway through your career. Like
But totally, like Thorno says, you hit 30. Like I've always been rake thin. I remember looking at people in my 20s and late 20s, mates going, do you ever watch what you eat? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I just eat whatever. Like, I just eat horrible food.
You love junk food.
Yeah, junk food. I eat heaps of junk food. Ate whatever I wanted. And then it hit 30, and I just remember one day a mate going, you're fat now? Do you know that? And I was like, oh, fuck, am I? Oh, shit, I am too. And so now I'm a bit conscious about it.
So someone fat shamed you into getting thinner?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do with the rest of the world?
No, I'm just having fun.
Although you do have a claim to fame with The Daily Show's Ronnie Chang.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was very funny. He came on our podcast, Little Dum Dum Club, and I'd played indoor soccer with him. We got very desperate, needed a player, and he said, oh, I can play soccer.
How long ago? This was a couple of years ago, though.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. So he turns up in the only sort of sporty outfit he had, which was like a cycling top that was like canary yellow, and which does not hide anything. So he turns up to play soccer, and it's just like, and I'm like, memory bank, cool. And so we play, and then the next time we do a podcast, I go, yeah, you come and field in for indoor soccer. Geez, you're fat. And he was like, okay, I'll fix that now. And then he just went away and just shredded and lost 15 kilos or whatever. And then that was just me fat shaming him. And he literally says to me, you did that, I fixed it just so you've got nothing on me now.
Right.
It wasn't to fix himself, it was just so I couldn't hang any more shit on him.
I feel like part of my career...
which, by the way, is not working with you at all.
I know. This is what I was trying to get to, is that a lot of the people who started coming to my shows early on was from your podcast. And a lot of the shtick that we have is you fat shaming me and stuff like that. So in a way, I owe a lot of the success that I'm having right now is purely because of fat shaming.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people turn up to give you support.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
They're like, oh, he cops so much on the Dum Dum Club. Let's buy a ticket to his show.
No, but in Karl's defence, I saw you play the grand final of your indoor soccer team, and you're also like he's soccer shaming, he's
Yes.
outfit shaming.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
He's
he's
just an
cornered the
arsehole.
market.
Yeah. That's just one little thing in my arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a one-trick pony, bro. I can tell
You got
on
something, I
it.
can shame it.
Nice Nobel Peace Prize, dickhead.
But one of the things you go me a lot is about eating eating after gigs.
Exactly,
Yes.
because I'm serious about that, which is very much annoys me, because I see you put in effort to try and lose weight,
Yeah.
and you go into the gym all the time and all that. I'm like, great, so you're doing that. All you need to do is eat right now. And then we do a gig, and you go, all right, it's midnight, let's go and have dinner.
Yeah.
That's not, you don't, like, I've just got that so ingrained in me. You don't go to bed like a fucking python with a porcupine in its stomach that you're just going to sleep and it's just going to sit there all night. Just go, just eat at 6 o'clock and then sweat it out on stage.
Dill's unlocked his jaw just
Yeah.
in the middle.
It's like Nightmare on
So
Elm
it's just shoving it in.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
This is still good, Carl. Yeah, we're good.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4 when Freddy's the anaconda and just opens his head up and eats a full person.
What a reference.
I know. We're all well,
Sweet.
to be fair, it's Channel 31, so there'll be a lot of people who watch this who know that reference.
Yeah.
So you don't eat before
I don't
gigs.
even, and then I used to pig out hardcore afterwards, like hardcore.
Tell us about your McDonald's drive-through experiences.
Yeah. So when I was really happy. No, but this is
So
when I
if the
was
gig
doing.
goes well,
No, this is.
correct me if you get into this.
Yeah.
Are you the same? For me, if the gig goes well, I'm like, let's celebrate with a burger. If a gig goes bad, well, the gig was shit, we might as well have a burger.
Yeah, but no, but either. Well, usually I would admit. See, but this is where alcohol comes in. So it's like if I have a really good gig, I get really pissed.
Yeah.
Once I'm really pissed, I
You've
want
been
that
sober 6
kebab on
months
the
now?
road.
Hey!
Fuck, I was
that's
just
the
putting
thing.
one in the chamber.
But that's the you know this not. It's that now with having kids, you drink so much less. You can't have a hangover the next day. It's not possible. Like your life's it's hell, right?
Right.
You just can't. But before that, I would drink heaps, and then you have a good gig, and then you just drink. And then all that booze and all that beer, then you'd have like a kebab on the way home.
Right.
Then now I didn't do that. I would replace that food. So I think I was like, oh, okay, well, it was a good gig. Celebrate with a kebab and 4 magnums.
what?
With a
Kebab.
Kebab.
Yeah.
Never
Say
heard
kebab.
anyone
It's
say
his
that.
baby's nickname.
Kebab. Well, how do you have it? Oh,
Kebab.
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 Okay.
Oh, that thing that everyone says. Yeah.
No, I think
Kebab.
he's right. In
I was-
terms of the actual pronunciation, it's
Kebab.
kebab.
It's a kebab.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the base of anyone's good FOD pyramid.
Kebab right at the top.
You know that. You know that. Yeah, but I've found though in a twist that most of my mates who become dads now are healthier because they can't drink. But also it's the thing because you're up so early. Like so many of my mates I would never have picked it are like, oh yeah, I'm running a half marathon on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when did this happen? And they're like, I'm just bored because I can't drink. I can't do all the things we used to. My weekend is now completely open to be sober and spend an entire 12 hours up.
And
Like,
also-
in the right time of the
Yeah.
day. And then they're now like, well, I'm just going to train for.
Because that
a
energy
run.
is still there. That energy of wanting to do something extreme and intense.
And also, you don't want
Yeah.
to. You don't want to do it in front of your kids. You don't want to eat shit food in front of your kids because
How is that? Because I was going to ask that from the both of you. Do you feel like obviously it's your responsibility to raise your children correctly? How much of your bad habits do you worry about passing on?
Man, but it's one of those things like I do. I want to eat well in front of my kid, but also she can go on YouTube when she's 4 and see me telling the shittest cop jokes. And then she's bound. I'll be like, okay, lasagna is the least of your problems right
Well,
now.
She can be watching this right now. Hi, Gwendolyn, or whatever your name is.
Best mate! Best mate, Karl Chandler.
Or whatever
No
your name is.
offense to any Gwendolyns out there. It's a fine name. It's just not his kid's name. That's all. But Ed Cavalier was on one of the other episodes said that about how with Dave Hughes said to his wife, you know, she's too embarrassed to bring this particular topic up, and he'd gone, baby, this is the house. This house was built on embarrassment, which is, you know, you got to look at your daughter and say, you may not like the cock jokes, but hey, this is what's giving you an education and a roof above your head.
That's what I'll remind, because do you do this with your partner? Sometimes you'll think you're joking, hey, what do you reckon of this? And it's more you just want to say it out loud, but my partner will critique it, and then I go, right. well, you know, it's jokes like that. They're paying for this knowledge. And I don't know why, because I just told her the joke.
Do you not have the issue where you tell it, but you don't sell it? You just say it out loud,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, that's no good." And I was like, "Well, I wasn't really selling it. So why did you tell me in the first place? Well, why don't you clean my baby? I hate you.
I'm getting a kebab.
I would never tell my girlfriend jokes. Like,
I would never tell your girlfriend your jokes.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Man, no, because she'll be like, I've done it before where she's gone, and then she'll hear the same joke out loud and go, "Oh no, it's good now that you fixed it." I'm like, "It's the same joke. You just heard someone else laugh."
You do train with your girlfriend though. You go for runs and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel like having her incorporating part of your, like, you know, that's the time you spend with her as well?
It's great. It's great. I actually enjoy it. I super enjoy it. And plus, I'm always pushing her when we're running. Like, I'm the one going, "Come on, keep up with me. Let's do this, whatever." But I wouldn't be able to do that without her. Like, it keeps me interested. If I run by myself, it's so easy to go, "Oh, that's 10 minutes. That'll do." But if I'm with her, I'm always trying to keep up like I'm some big athlete. I'm like, "No, because I'm usually doing 30 minutes, so let's do 30 minutes together." But I could not do 30 minutes without her.
And you know what's interesting with my partner? Because like my whole life, like when I was a junior, I played basketball. I know you played soccer and stuff like that. And it's like, if things zigged instead of zagged, if someone said to me like, "Would you prefer to be a professional basketball player or a comedian?" I would sit there for a long time going, "Oh, I could want to press that button still." But she's this secret athlete, my partner, where she's like, "Yeah, in year 11 I got to like Victoria standard netball, but then it just became like one-dimensional. I got bored." And I'm like, "What?" And then she does stuff like she rode through Europe. Like she just rode from like England across the ferry, all around there.
She Lance Armstrong.
She does all this, yeah.
She on a lot of
the whole way. And so she's like a weapon. So like long distance runs, she will torch me.
Right.
You go on, like, was it hiking? You said she just took you hiking?
Yeah, she'll take me.
How long's one of those walks?
We do one of those for like 5 days. But you're staying. This one was in South America.
But yeah, I think maybe incorporating your partner, just keep making that part of the way of interacting. Do you work out or anything with your wife?
Impossible with 2 kids. Like 2 young kids, we know that that's something we want to do in the future. But at the moment now with 2 kids, it's just the only way we do, where my partner gets exercise, she goes to yoga once a week, so I have both those kids. And then the other time we do it is we just walk. Like, we just walk together. Like, and we're trying to convince Minka to walk a bit more as well.
Minka, your daughter?
Yeah. So, because there's a period where it's like, I remember once just carrying her is just so brutal. Like just, you can't do it. So just.
We had an interesting moment at a wedding that all of us were at a couple of weeks ago, where your son, who was born on the same day as Dave's daughter, was next to each other.
Yeah.
And it looked like your child was twice the size of.
Yeah, that's totally. But
wow, like, that is getting some fat shaming in early.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. That it's so.
Look at who his dad is.
But it's so different though. Like, it's hard to compare. Like, it's really hard to compare babies.
And it is, and I've noticed boys.
Yeah, no, it's easy. Yours is fatter.
No, but boys are always. I've found boys are so much bigger than girls. Full stop. Like, as bars.
They don't get it. They just don't get it. They just see 2 babies and go, "That one's massive. Oh, you're fat, bingo."
Yeah.
It's just, doesn't work.
With training with my girlfriend, I don't know if I've told you this one. We used to train early. So when we first started running together, it was really hard for her, but she'd never really run before. And it was like that thing, she'd hit the wall very early on. Like, we'd do 800 metres and she'd be like, be screaming and stuff. And we used to run around this block that went gradually higher and higher and higher, and then down and down and down. So we started doing this thing where we were running that, and she took it so hard, she couldn't run uphill very well at all. So we'd be running, and I'd be doing this thing where I'd be running in front of her, because she'd go, "I can't, you have to run in front of me, I don't want you behind me pushing me or anything like that," but like, you know, yelling in the back of my head or anything.
Yeah.
So
you sound like a nightmare to run with. The sofa.
Yeah, because I'd be behind her, and she'd be telling me off because I'd be behind her, and she'd be just, you know, I'd be going, come on, let's go a bit quicker, a little bit quicker. Come on.
You're whispering in her ear while you're
Yeah, just to get her to go. Yeah, a little bit like that.
Better still be calm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, but this is what happened. So I'd be like, come on, let's just be a bit quicker. And she'd go, "No, shut up, fuck off." And she'd be like screaming, "Fuck off." And I'd be like going, "Oh, come on." She'd be like, "Fuck off," and be screaming, right? And we did a lap, and when we come back, there was police.
Brilliant.
There was police had turned up, and they were sort of looking around, and I was saying to my girlfriend, like, "Oh, there's police here." And it was this super quiet area. There was no traffic. There was no cars anywhere. But these police had turned up. It was like 9:30 on a Sunday morning. I'm like, they're definitely for us because you know what? Someone's reported what they've seen, which is a man chasing a woman, with a woman's going, "Fuck off, fuck off," and me just very quietly going, "Come on."
You're in the interrogation room going, "It worked for Ronnie Chang. He's on the Daily Show now. I'm just trying to help her out."
But then in a weird twist, you fat shamed your way out of it with the cops, like, "Oh, nice uniform." She's just barely fit into those things.
Yeah, well, blue is not your colour.
Oh, okay, we'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
With comedy though, there's not just about the food, it's also the drinking. There's heaps of alcohol, especially beer. A lot of, when you start early, there's a lot of people saying, "Hey, here's some drink cards, here's whatever, free bar tab or something." How do you go in terms of
I go
drinking?
okay now, but in the past, no good.
I always look at alcoholics, I'm always fascinated by it because I'm like, wow, imagine not being able to stop drinking. Like, I feel like someone would say to me, "No more drinks for you for 6 months." I'd be like, okay. All right, well, it was good someone said it. Like, now there's a reason to do it. But I feel like I've got no compunction.
Maybe that's what it is. You put the expectation that you have for yourself. You hold everyone to the same standards you have for yourself.
Yes.
And you go, why can't you just stop? Why can you not eat after the? Yeah.
Why can't you be great at
You're gonna be
comedy?
you're gonna be a great dad.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen when Chandler has hit that tipping point?
Oh,
where
yeah.
It's like I distinctly remember the other podcast here.
Little Dum Dum Club.
Little Dum Dum Club at the Croxton as I was leaving because I think I was going away on holidays the next day.
South
and you went
America?
in your set.
It's funny how you did that.
And and it was like drunk teacher was out. It was the end of term, and he had one flap of his shirt out of
He
his
was in a
suit.
black tie and a black suit jacket and stuff.
And all he does is like his insult catch cries just go on rotation. Like he's just giving you. He'd be like, "Fat." And then moves across to the next person to whatever he's got to do.
I did see pictures the next day. It looked like I was a drunken Andy Cap or something, like a cartoon.
Right.
Oh,
It was the half untouched shirt and the tie loosened up.
I have a video of you eating a pizza.
good.
We all went out to a pizza place together, like a group of maybe 6 of us, and for some reason you didn't realize where we were sitting. So you just got your pizza and you're sitting by yourself with a whole pizza, just great, like just real, like old school cow, just the mouth moving, and no awareness that we're in the same room.
Yeah.
But then once in a while you just did look up and go, "Shut up."
That was funny. That night I did, a couple of weeks later, someone came up to me at a gig and went, "Oh, you enjoyed the 300s?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was great." And they were like, "Yeah, you're welcome for the ride home." I'm like, "That's how I got home. Thank you, whoever you are." And they just went, "Yeah, I was the one who gave you a ride home." I'm like, "I don't remember, but thank you."
You do, yeah. I mean, so do you go? Sometimes you have memory losses when you drink.
Oh, I don't think it's often. That's a new thing for me because I think what I
Might
get,
be age.
No, but what I get with the podcast is I get a thing where I do get anxious about what's going to happen because with a live podcast, it's not like stand up. You know what you're going to say. So when you're getting up and you're talking in front of a big crowd, you don't know exactly what you're going to say. I get quite anxious, and so I then lubricate myself with a bit of drinks, but then I also forget to eat. So then that turns into the drunkest I ever get because I've just got alcohol in my system and that's it. And I've never been dumb enough to do that before. So now that's an ongoing concern.
You know, I remember it was one of my first, if not the first comedy festival I was ever part of. And on the last night, Tommy Daslow and Dave Bushell, which is a bit of a shout out to the past, they had got
two ex-comedians.
They had got a hotel room on Swanson Street, and we were there all just partying and doing whatever. And then it just got really weird. Like there was just, I don't know, like there was these girls' clothes just hanging around, I don't know what, and then started putting them on. All these girls put makeup on me, and then I went to the hi-fi bar and said, "I'm Susan Provan, let me in." And they're like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Oh, good call." And it was just daylight, so it was 4:30 and 6. And you know, like the comedy festival finished on a Sunday, so this is Monday morning. And all businessmen started walking around, and then I just took the tram home because I was living in Richmond. So I'm just like in female out and just like looking like drag. Just went in my door, but then couldn't remember a thing, and then just woke up in that moment of looking in the mirror and going, "What happened? How did it get to this?"
I had a similar thing. It's like festival, big night out. And, you know, it's 4:30 in the morning. I was like, I was okay, but I didn't realise how bad it was. And then I went and caught up with a mate who was also partying, and then I was on the tram at 6 o'clock. And I was like, here we go. And I was like, just blind. I was like, I'll just make it home and I'll pass out. And then someone sits down in front and goes, "G'day, Ben, how you going?" And it was like an ex-colleague. So you know when you're that blind and then you try and straighten up? And I was like, and all I remember is the conversation was just trying
So the last chat that you had with them was, "I'm going to leave and do comedy."
Yeah. And then he said this, he goes, So it's coming going well for you, mate? I was like, oh.
That would have been so much better if you were wearing the makeup from Thornton.
I've got this character.
Yes, I'm Dave Edma.
Dave Edna, eat your heart out.
Guys, we're going to wrap up. Ben and Lomas, quick plugs for festivals.
No, I'm just hosting
at the Comics Lounge throughout the festival.
Yep.
Dave Thornton, you got a bunch coming up?
Yeah, onwards and upwards. That'll be on at Max Watts, the old hi-fi bar down on Swanston Street, 7 p.m.
Any other festivals? I think you're in Canberra with me on the 24th.
Yeah, Brisbane Comedy Festival. I'm up there March 17th, the weekend of March 17th. Canberra the next weekend, and then Melbourne kicks off.
Carl?
Karl Chandler, world's best comedian in the world.
Yes. You got it.
Yeah, I got it right.
Yeah.
And that's only in Melbourne at the European Beer Cafe. And I do live Little Dum Dum Club podcasts at the European Beer Cafe as well. Heaps of special guests.
And April 14th, if you enjoyed this show of fat shaming, there is a roast.
The Little Dum Dum Club presents the roast of Dilruk Jayasinha on Good Friday in
It will
Melbourne.
be. I'm very excited.
It is
about
selling very well because people like you being shit on.
Yeah, it's a roast. They're not cooking a roast. It's a roast.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That would be. You should do that.
Well, it's Good Friday, so that's the biggest clue that there's not actual roast.
Tell everyone bring their fish and chips.
Yeah, once it hits midnight, then you can eat. Yeah.
How amazing would it be if you actually had a spit on stage?
Yeah. Don't worry, plenty of people suggested it already.
All right.
So good.
Guys, don't forget to follow Channel 31 on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube comedy channel, and the Channel 31 app. And my festival show, Out of the Deal, details will be here somewhere. Thank you, gentlemen. I hope that wasn't too painful, Ben.
No, that was fun.
If I was you, I would go home.
This was great for him. He rode the bike over here. That was painful
Where
for him.
he lost the eye, both.
Yes.